tenemos con Ann Bradney, directora de Radical Aliveness Institute en Los Ángeles, California, psicoterapeuta y maestra de core en varios institutos en el mundo, y que va a platicar con nosotros nuestras 3 preguntas. Ann, thanks for being kind to be with us this afternoon. And to start, I want to ask you, can you share with us which main characteristics do you think a group leader needs to have to be really able to make processes actually in groups?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. And I would say, for me, the 3 things that are most important for a group leader. One is the ability to have neutrality. One is the ability to tolerate chaos. And one is the ability to empower the group members as co-leaders with you. So neutrality is important because when we develop that capacity in ourselves to be able to say yes to all of the energy that wants to come into the group, it allows for a very powerful and very large group process to happen. And it's as if we're putting out an energetic message that says everything is welcome. And when we put out a message that says everything is welcome, something huge happens. It's a state that is absolutely necessary for chaos. Chaos is necessary because if we don't have chaos, we keep everything smaller than it has the potential to be. We keep ourselves smaller, we keep our group members smaller, and we keep a process smaller. So when we can say yes to chaos, chaos is a part of a natural process in the world that leads to a higher evolution and a higher complexity. So when we can say yes to chaos, chaos is just the state before something reforms into a higher level. And so being able to tolerate this allows for a group to go places that it could never go if we stayed in control. And lastly, I think what's happening in the world today is that we as a species are being asked to learn how to become a cooperative group entity. We can no longer operate on our own. We can no longer be leaders that have the answers. It's not the truth. We are being asked as humanity to develop ourselves in a way where we can come to solutions
more as a
group and as a community. This is the future. So when we can be neutral, hold chaos, and empower our group members, then the group members also become co-leaders, and something starts to happen in the process of a group that takes us into a complexity and answers and solutions that are so beyond the mind of one person.
You talk about this and your face shines, becomes with light. It's like the spirit of your work.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And it feels like it's something that is happening, or it's being born all over in the world, and you see it in countries and you see it everywhere. So it feels exciting to be part of a group process where people are learning how to be part of this new movement in the world.
You talk about chaos, and that's a big one. I mean, I can read the mind of people that maybe is now hearing us and saying, wow, what's about chaos? That's really the difficult one. what can you tell me about why is chaos so important? And
Well, chaos is important, like I said before, because if we keep ourselves under control, we will never be able to flow with all of the energy of the universe that wants to flow through us. Likewise, if we keep control of a group, then we stay the ones that have the answers and we keep our group small and less powerful than it is. So in some ways, I see chaos as almost a practice. Like, I want to develop the capacity to allow chaos in me, in my groups. I want my groups to have a capacity to allow chaos because it's part of the process of reorganizing to a higher level of complexity. And it's just part of the natural process of the world. And our ego is afraid of it. But when we can actually train ourselves to tolerate it, and when we do, the universe becomes the leader, and we become the instruments of some divine plan. That's how it feels to me.
Can you tell us, give us some advice about how can we work in ourselves in order to be able to tolerate or work more with chaos?
Sure. Well, one thing is that if we do work on ourselves, for instance, doing breathing exercises, where we do, for instance, the WHO breath. We lie down on the ground and we breathe in and out. We do this for an hour. For sure, we're going to lose control. For sure, energy will flow through us. And when we learn to tolerate this kind of losing control and allowing the energy to overtake us and not be holding on, it's one way of practicing, just to allow ourselves to lose control. Maybe also to, in our own therapies or in our own emotional processes, to really allow ourselves to go to our profound feelings, to touch into the places where we're very angry or we're very sad, and to allow those feelings to take us over. I mean, in many ways, it's like setting an intention to open ourselves to being out of control, really. And breathing is one simple way to do it. I think I was thinking something else. How do we practice losing control? The other thing I would say is that when we're in a group, for instance, and we're in the energy of chaos and we are the leader, to know that we will have thoughts that say, this is out of control, I don't know what's happening, this is going to fail, and these are normal thoughts. And we have to resist the temptation to listen to these thoughts and take the group back under control. Because it's frightening for the ego, it's frightening for the small self to trust in the energy of life and chaos. And almost always, before something profound happens, I have these thoughts. Even after all this time of doing this work, oh no, I'm out of control. I've lost control of this group. Something terrible is going to happen. It's not going to make sense.
Catastrophic thoughts.
Yeah, and then something magic happens. So to learn how to tolerate and know that those thoughts are normal in the middle of such a process.
Thank you very much, Anne.
You're welcome.
You really illustrate us. Thanks. Y gracias por acompañarnos un momento más en estas 3 preguntas en esta ocasión con Anne Bradley. Gracias.
Gracias.